That's Keith here. I just want to say thank you for joining us. It is 6:01 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are live. This is not a recorded anything, but we are recording, guys. I'm just going to put it out there. I hope you have hit the record button. I want to welcome you to Session 2. As promised, Session 1 was all training. It showed off some just kick-ass software. Just wait till tonight. You were going to see something that, and mind you, I'm privy to see a lot of softwares and behind the scenes of a lot of things, and I can tell you with certainty nothing is like this. So I'm excited. You should be excited, and I will stop babbling and turn it on over to Todd. Thanks for being here, and Todd, take it away.
All right, thanks, Keith. Thanks for getting your group organized again and bringing them back for the second webinar in this two-part webinar series. And today we have some surprises. First of all, who is out there on the interwebs listening to me right now? Say hello. Age, sex, location, weathered pattern. If you're in a big tornado or a dust storm, please let me know. I want to know all about you. See a couple of Davids out there that I know. I see some returning visitors as well. Say hello. There you are, Robert. How's it going? Right on. Waterloo, Ontario. Beautiful day. No more snow in Canada? Is it all melting?
It better be.
Herc's got to be heading back up that way here pretty soon, so it's got to all be gone before he goes. How you doing?
Welcome back, Jen.
Yep, welcome back, Jen. See you there. Eddie from California. How's the weather in California? Beautiful as always. Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. Okay, well, I will leave the intro to a short piece here because we do want to get to the webinar. There's not really any, as before. We don't have any huge script and some slideshow to show you our mansions and private jets. We kind of think that's bullshit, so we don't go there. We're just here to show you a couple of pieces of software that we use and demo them and show you how we use them, how they're getting results, talk about the results they're getting, talking about what they can't do. And we'll also show you some things from some of our other members. So with that, that's kind of what we're going to go with today. So let me get a mic check from our other participants in the room here. I believe we just heard Herc. Herc, can you say hello? Everyone hears Herc okay?
Yep, 1111122. That's me.
Right on. We also have Jason, lead scientist and developer of SERPtech, which was the first software that we showed you on Wednesday, which if you haven't caught that webinar yet, you should click up at the top if you're watching this replay as well. Click up at the top there and make sure you watch the first webinar of what we used in order to get the results that we're going to show you today. So make sure you check that out as well, but not right now. But go back and look, and you'll be impressed there. So, Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. How you doing?
Doing great. Good to hear your voice. I hope it's not too cold and rainy over in the UK today. I know that weather over there can get kind of tricky. Right on. All right. Also, we have on the line the creator and developer and lead scientist, head honcho, top of the nerd heap, Mr. Steven Vanderpyle. Steven, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, man. So for all the girls on the webinar, that number that Herc just shouted out, that's his phone number, right? So, just saying. Right on.
Steven's going to put it, Steven's given his towards the end, so all the ladies should hang around to get Steven's hotline. Because Steven is single, by the way. He is the epitome of the traveling single entrepreneur. Well, he might have girlfriends in different cities, but that's for him to talk about. Right on. So anyway, Steven is the master behind Local Supremacy. He's been working on this software for a couple of years, and we're going to get into all that here in just a little bit. So just hang with us. I just wanted to give everyone a proper introduction, and you guys should really step back and take this in, because what we're about to show you has got years of work involved and created by some very, very brilliant individuals. So yeah. So that's it. It is now 6:06. We're taking off here a little bit earlier today than normal, so we're going to cut the chatter down and just get right into it. Everybody buckle up your seatbelts. And one thing that I would like to say is if we ask you politely to deboard the plane, please do so. We don't want to have to drag you out kicking and screaming. That makes for bad social media play. No, I'm just kidding. Bad joke. All right, well, let's kick it off. I think, Herc, you have got something to say. Let's do it.
All right. So, guys, webinar 1, hopefully there's some new people on here, but for those of you that were on webinar 1, what we wanted to do is prove to you live that we can take the first piece of software, which was called SERPtech, and it's a mass builder software with a little bit of a twist based on a lot of the other ones out there, and the twist is basically that it actually works, and it works well, it works really fast. So what we wanted to do is bring you on live, build a website in front of you, and wait 48 hours and see what happens and show you those results. There's no better way that we can prove to you that this works than by doing it live. So I'm going to get into that right now. Okay, and I've got a whole bunch of tabs here. So we're going to start, with this one. The site that we built, guys, was called PanteraFlooring.pro, if you can remember that. So you can see right now, I did a site search, and we have now 264 indexed results. I don't know if you remember, but at the end of the webinar, I actually did a quick check, which that's bad news to do that. It slows things down. But I just wanted to do a quick check to see if it had indexed 60 pages at the end of the webinar, and now it's up to 264 pages indexed in 48 hours. But who really gives a shit about what's indexing? What matters is what's actually ranking. So the unfortunate thing is we didn't really kick as much ass with this one as we normally do. So I'm going to go through some of the results with you, but there's still some stuff I want to show you, as well as a little bit of a surprise. So I'm just going to start going through some of these rankings. You can see cheap carpet replacement in Socorro, which is a little town just outside of El Paso. The cool thing, though, is that when we do rank, guys, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 for that keyword. Over here, we ranked really, really well in Socorro for some reason. We ranked here number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, which is pretty deadly. We almost took over the whole first page there. Another one in Socorro, we're number 1, we're number 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Another keyword here. This one's a lot more competitive, 1.2 million results. We're ranking number 1, 2, 3, 4 for that. Carpet costs installed in Peekskill, so we did rank in a different town, and we're ranked here. Let's see, Pantera Flooring, number 9. So, you know, nothing that knocked your socks off. It's still pretty good. Like the dominating effect is really, really cool, and we did explain that does happen. But one thing I want to mention here with people that are kind of like feeling a little let down by us not dominating hundreds, like we said, let me show you the URL rankings. Okay. Here's all the keywords that are tracking. Now, this is a fraction of the keywords that we're actually targeting. These are only the keywords that we're tracking. So you can see a bunch of keywords ranking in the top 10, and then stuff coming up into the top 10. So we're not ranking for any of these. It could be because these sites or these locations haven't indexed yet. But here's the cool thing, guys. Socorro, I loaded this up on maps. I looked it up because I didn't actually know where Socorro was. Socorro, Texas is a little suburb of El Paso, which is a big city, and the fact that we're dominating, you know, in Socorro for a bunch of carpet things, how easy do you think it would be to go take this kind of rankings to a company in Socorro, Texas, and say, you know, hey, I have the site that is absolutely dominating the first page in Socorro. You know, do you want to rent it out? Do you want to, you know, give me $250 a month or $500 a month or $1,000 a month, however good of a salesperson you are, and rent this out to them? Okay, it would be so easy to do that. And what we want to cover today, after I show you guys these rankings, is how to turn this build into this situation. So this doesn't look like what it does anymore. I kind of did this to be a little bit cheeky, but what we did is we actually overlaid another site on top of this one, so I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with overlays. And we're going to go into detail about how our overlays are different and all the different options that we have with our overlay software. So the software that we did to build the site was SERPtech. Okay, that's the one that gets us all these rankings really, really fast. The software that we're using to overlay our sites, and that's not the only thing we can do, I'll get into that, that's called LocalSupremacy, and that's going to be a bulk of today's webinars. But I was kind of disappointed in myself. I feel a little bit like I failed you guys. We wanted to really knock your socks off and show you, look, we can do what we said. So this morning, I woke up and I said, I'm going to go out and build another site to show you guys on the webinar. So I did this morning. So I registered a domain, where is it? Right here, touchcarpets.online. I wanted to stay in the carpet niche for you guys to show you. What happened is I didn't realize how competitive touch carpets is, or carpeting is, like carpet installs and stuff like that. It's actually crazy. But you can see right here, the creation date of this webinar is today, okay? 2017 4/12, April 12th, that's today. And so I went and built another site, okay? So you can see right here, Touch Carpets Online. It's only got 46 indexed results right now, okay, in the carpet niche. But here we go. We're ranking #1 for carpet installations. I went up to Canada because I'm Canadian, so we got #1 with this keyword. Okay, another pretty competitive keyword, touch carpets, #1. Another keyword, 1.5 million competing pages were #1. Another #1. Okay, another #1. So it doesn't really matter, guys. I can go through all these tabs all day, but the point is that this software can literally rank multiple keywords on the first page of Google in just hours, okay? I know we initially said 24 to 48. That's just us kind of protecting our ass in case we look like idiots on a webinar. We need to give it some time to like stew, and the longer it stews, the better it gets. But I really was disappointed with what I had before, so I built another one this morning, and we're already ranking for more keywords with less indexed pages. Okay, here's another one. In 6 hours. This literally happened an hour after I built the site. So the software absolutely works, guys. I want to show you one more thing because I think I kind of covered this on the first one, and I just want to show you what happens. Now, you guys are all SEOs. This SERPtech software, I personally believe you're not going to get a better out-of-the-box result on any mass page builder or anything that you're doing than what we're getting. You guys have seen us dominate the first page with that site that I built in Sakaro. Okay, that was the one I built on the webinar. You saw me rank #1 for multiple keywords with a site I built this morning before the webinar. Okay, so we can absolutely prove concept that this actually works. Okay, but you guys being SEOs, when you take a site like this, because a lot of people say like, oh, well, who gives a shit, you know, you're ranking for like crappy keywords or whatever, and crappy towns. It's like, yeah, but we're ranking for hundreds of those keywords. We're ranking in hundreds of towns. We're dominating the first page. This kind of level of SEO hasn't happened since like 09. It's been no other mass page builders. I hear from other ones that they're having problems with indexing. Obviously, if you can't index, you can't rank. Let me show you guys what you can do with, okay, so that's what you can do with no SEO, okay? Basically, you get 20 minutes to build it with no SEO, no backlinks, no real on-page finackery other than what the plugin does, no social, no citations, nothing. You can dominate the first page and rank on the first page in hours, okay? But now, being that you guys are SEOs, you know how to move a keyword, okay, from page 10 to page 2 to page 1. You guys know how to do that. Let me show you the rankings for this site, okay? This one's been stewing a little while, and I did a little bit of SEO. I did one backlink, okay? Now let me show you guys what's going on here. I'm just going to start randomly choosing keywords here, okay? Asbestos settlement, Ohio. So we're not ranking in Ohio, pretty big city. Actually, I do have a URL for this one. It'd be quicker that way. Okay, asbestoslaw.pro, same site. Let me expand this out. And for anyone that says you can't rank in harder markets, okay, if you guys look, and I'll zoom this in a bit so you can really see. I know like some people have troubles. So asbestos, like Wyoming. Hang on a second here. There we go. The computer's just choking a bit. Okay, so look at all these #1s, guys. Wyoming, Columbus, Springfield. Oh Jesus, it's got a delay here. Sorry about that. Okay, Detroit, we're ranking #1 for asbestos prosecutor in Detroit. And if you guys want, you can go search that on the side right now, and you'll see the same thing that I'm showing you. Okay, but we're literally, we got so many rankings. The screen's just sticking. There we go. Now we're into the #2s, the #4s, the #5s, the #6s, the #7s. This is with one link. We can push these sites up. Okay, so we have tons of SEO experience in this group. I know that. But what I'm trying to get at is, out of the box, guys, have you ever seen something as powerful to dominate SERPs and as easy? Like, it takes 20 minutes. You're not doing too much, you know, tinkering with sites and keywords and meta tags and all that stuff. The software just handles it all for you, okay? So then now, when you're ranking for this many keywords, what do you do with it? Okay, and that's kind of where the next software comes in. And I have a whole bunch of more stuff. So I'll forgive my dog here for a second. He's a barker when my fiance comes home. So this here, guys, is that same Pantera site that I built on the first day. Okay, and that what you can do with them is overlay sites. So I'm going to show you guys how to overlay sites, because when you go to sell these to a client, they're obviously not going to want to buy a site that looks, you know, the way that these do when they come out. Let me show you one that looks like the way it actually is. Okay, so here's Touch Carpets. This is the one I did this morning, and here's what the site ends up looking like. Okay, so nobody's really going to want to rent these out looking the way they do, and we know that, but that's the point of the second piece of software, is to handle the sales aspect of this, and there's a lot of stuff that we can do with these. Okay, so I'm just going to close some tabs because my computer is like got a lot of tabs open. All right. So this, guys, is LocalSupremacy, okay? Now, this is the software that we use to do all kinds of cool stuff with these sites once they're ranking. #1, get the rankings. #2, go out and sell the rankings. And there's a lot of ways you can do this, okay, guys? There's also lazy salespeople. There's aggressive salespeople. We have situations for all that. So one of the ones that we can do, I actually have another site I'm going to look up, and I want to show you guys this. Pool Resurfacing Phoenix. Okay, is another site. This is an expensive service, and what I did is, here's my site. I'm going to log into it, and you're going to see something pretty interesting on this site. You're going to see a pop-up come up right away. This website is for rent. So what we're doing here is like a lazy SEO tactic. We're going out there building, getting the rankings, but maybe you're a lazy type. You don't really like picking up the phone and trying to sell these rankings, okay? But one thing we can guarantee for sure is that other companies in Phoenix, this is where this site is, are going to Google and they are searching their keywords. Okay, so when they go and they type in, you know, pool resurfacing Phoenix, they want to know where their sites are ranking. They want to know what's up. They want to know who their competitors are, right? So if you build a site that's dominating first page, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to click on it. That's right. They're going to click on it. They're going to want to see what's up. And when they click on, so say Aquavita Pools here, he's, I'm pretty happy with my results. I'm being the surfacing guy or whatever. He clicks on your site, and what he sees right away is a pop-up come up and say this website is for rent. So let's just say our name is, you know, George, and our email is george@gmail.com. George is going to get an email, and our phone number is 780-780-7807. And our website, let me actually go grab that competitor's actual website. Okay, what was he? Aquavita Pools. Let me Google it again. He would know this. I'm looking it up, but he would know this. The owner would know this. Okay, so he puts in his name, his email, his phone number, and he puts in a URL, and he clicks this button that says "Show me how it works." So just let me back up the process again, just so we all get on back on the same track. We built the site. We've got the rankings. We overlay. This is called a mini trial. Okay, we overlay this on there so that when competitors come and see what's up, they see that you're dominating, and they click on your site to see what's up, and then they see this website is for rent. And then what they do is they put in their contact info and their URL, show me how it works. They click this button, and a pretty amazing thing is going to happen. You've probably seen similar things to this before, but what it's going to do, guys, is it's going to actually, for this client, overlay his site onto our site, okay, and then put a timer. I don't know why my computer is just being so slow. I really apologize. Let me refresh this. I'm just going to grab the one data. Let's do this again. Maybe the less tabs I have open, the better it'll be for me. Okay, let me go to my site. Okay, there we go. Actually, if you can, it actually happened. I just didn't give it enough time. So you guys, can you see the domain here up top? poolresurfacingphoenix.com. That's my site. That's your site. You know what I mean? You got those rankings. Aquavita Pools is your competitor, or you know, a competitor that clicked on your site and did that, and look what it does. It's looking good, right, George? Time to make it permanent before your competition does. Click here to get all the details. So we've overlaid their site onto your, you know, mass ranking site. And this button here can now go to a couple different areas. It can go to a sales page that explains this process to them. It can go straight to a PayPal buy button, okay, so that they can rent the site out straight away from you and just deposit money into your PayPal account. And you can set the price, you can set the terms. But this is what I like to call the lazy, the lazy marketer's way. This is for people that don't want to call and don't want to be aggressive about sales. They just want to build sites, put the bait out there in the world on a large scale, and just have people, you know, habitually go look at their rankings, find yours, and take a trial. But this automates the entire process. This is a completely 100% hands-off situation where you don't have to do anything. You don't even ever have to talk to this guy, okay? But if you do go into Local Supremacy, when you log back into your account, you can go into your leads section here, okay? And you can see, here's George. Now, there's me doing it twice, being kind of dumb. But here's George, where you have his name, his email, his phone number, and the site that he used to overlay. Okay, so you can literally, if you do want to be a bit more aggressive, you can follow up with this guy by phone or by email and just be like, hey, what did you think of our overlay? Was that pretty cool, right? And close sales that way. Now, there's also another way. There's overlaying completely. So this is something that Stephen teaches in this training area. Another way you can do things is kind of, let me go change something. I'm going to switch assets. I'm going to go to that different Asbestos Law Pro site. What you can do, and we know that this one's ranking. You guys have seen how many rankings you have for this. It's crazy, okay? What we can actually do is just straight up overlay the site. So we don't even have to pick like a trial pop-up. We can just turn it right into an overlay. Okay, and I'm going to go switch the overlay. Okay, so asbestoslaw.pro. Let's do another example. So let's say we had, we know we're ranking number 1 in Detroit. So asbestos prosecutor Detroit. Let's look that keyword up. All right, so there we are, number 1. Okay, so maybe there's another. This guy, Blake Kircher or whatever, Kirchner. Okay, so maybe we want to target this guy, or maybe we want to look at these ads. We know these guys are spending money on advertising on Google for these types of keywords. Okay, so maybe we want to go after this guy. So what we can do is be kind of sneaky about it. All right, so what we would do is grab this guy's URL. Okay, we'll take it back into Local Supremacy, and we'll set the overlay to his site. Make sure I get my HTTPs in there. Okay, now I'm going to save that. And this is straight to an overlay. Okay, so now when we go to asbestosprosecutor.lawpro or asbestoslaw.pro, his site's already overlaid. Full site, okay? And what you can do now is contact this guy if you're more of an aggressive, a little bit more of an aggressive type. Contact this guy and say, hey, listen, I actually put your site onto mine. I'm ranking number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever, and I just want to show you what I can do. And this is just like, it's just sales presentation, right? Like traditionally with SEO guys, the way that we do things, or the way that things had been done, is we build a site, you know, to say we're SEOs, and then we try to get clients, and we get into a meeting, and we say, look, you know, give me some time, and I promise I'm going to rank your site, and things are going to be great, and you're going to love me, and give me $2,000 right now, and, you know, maybe in 2 or 3 months we'll see some results. And it worked, and people buy, because businesses do understand, you know, the need for SEO. They're starting to understand what SEO is, but that's a sale based on a promise. And a way more stronger proposition than that is to make a sale based on a result before you even walk into a meeting. Okay, so if you got a meeting with this guy, or say you knew someone with a business, you could go out there and build a quick ranking site in 24 hours, overlay their business, and then call your buddy up who owns a business, okay, and be like, dude, check out what I did. I just ranked you on the first page of Google. I dominated the entire first page, and your site's already there. You overlay his site, and you go to him with a result, and it's almost funny. You know what I mean? You're like, especially if you have a rapport with these people, and everybody in here I know knows somebody with a business, okay? And the rapport that you can have with them because of that is really, really simple. But when you go to them, it's just so damn impressive what you've done. You know what I mean? This is making the sales process easier. Okay, so that's kind of method 2. Method 1 was the lazy, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just gonna rank a bunch of shit, and then I'm gonna overlay a mini trial pop-up on it. Okay, and then hopefully somebody will be Googling it and see it and I'll get the lead, and then if I feel like following up, I can. Method number 2 is being a little bit more proactive, choosing your targets, okay, overlaying their sites, and then contacting them and going at it that way. Okay, there's a third way that we can do things too now. And this one's called skinning, okay? So what I'm gonna do, let me close these tabs again. There's the sales page. I skipped over that. But the next thing I'm going to do, guys, is show you something called skinning. Now, what skinning allows you to do, and this is a really cool thing, is there's two methods we talked about actually today about this. Number 1, it's always SERPtech. You go out there, you get a bunch of rankings, okay, and you own those rankings. And then number 2, skinning, what that allows you to do is, second, you build a nice, legitimate-looking site, okay, and you skin it. And let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to set up a quick skin here. So we're going to manage our assets. Okay, I'm going to use Asbestos Law Pro for the skinning example. Okay. And Steven, that's this one, right? Page editor?
No, this is a wildcard URL, so you can skin that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, delete that. Okay, this is, I'm gonna add my URL, guys. So, okay, with this, let me back up just a little bit so that I know people are probably confused. When you log into Local Supremacy, guys, the first thing that you need to do is add the asset that you want to sell to the customer. So, for instance, Asbestos Law Pro might be the site that you want to add to the site to be able to add to Local Supremacy to be able to sell it. So I'm gonna add it, and I'm gonna show you what skinning is. Okay, so I'm gonna choose the name for my asset, and I'm going to choose the URL, and I'm going to add the asset, right? Okay, and then there, that's it, page editor. Okay, so we're going to create it as a page editor, and then I'll save that. And Steven, just give me a guidance here, because you're the pro at this stuff.
Yeah, you're all done. It's set.
Okay,
so
it's set.
You can create your skin now.
Okay, so next we're going to go to the rent me funnel. I'm going to select the URL. We're going to call it a skin, okay? And now we're going to create the funnel. Okay, and skin name, we'll just, for the sake of this, we'll just call it test skin. Okay, and we're going to save it. And now we're going to edit the skin. And this is, now I'm going to try and, it can be a little bit complicated, but I'll try my best to explain it. What this is going to do, okay, is it's going to go to this site, which would, and it's going to basically download a copy of the site. Right? And you're going to be able to edit elements of that site to display however you wish. So, okay, so let's just do a simple one. Let's say we want to rent this to a company called, I don't know, not Asbestos Law Pro, but come on. Here we go. Okay, so this is going to be, I'll change it to, I don't know, just company XYZ or whatever, okay? And then I'm going to put in a phone number. This would be a call tracking number so you can prove that the sales came from you, okay? I'm going to save that. And then home, I don't know, I'm not going to change home to, this is my new home. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you want to change here. You can change logos. Anything that you see popping up in orange, you can actually change that. You can even change images, okay? So what you can do, guys, is what you do is you go out, get a bunch of rankings, you skin that site, and you put it to a landing page for whatever client you want. Okay, now let me save this. Let me just save. Okay, now I'm going to go back to that site. Oh shit. Control F5. I'm going to clear my cache. There you go, guys. So what just happened here? Now it's easier to explain it once you see what happened. Let's say Asbestos Law Pro was a client of yours. They wanted to use their site. Okay, so you can actually overlay their site to yours and skin their site and change the details of your site, but with the site that you have ranking. Does that make sense? Steven, do you want to explain that a little better for me, because you're so much more experienced at it?
Yeah, so basically, like one thing that's really important to hammer out. You already mentioned it, but it's really important. Like you basically make your landing page that actually converts really well. Because one of the problems we saw in the very beginning with this software is when you do overlays for a customer and you get good traffic, but the customer is not getting any clients, and that's obviously in the end what it's about. But that is very often that is because the client's website is just not converting very well. And obviously you can give them an extra service to rebuild their site or whatever, but what you can also do is actually using the skinning technology and create a really high converting lead gen website, and then basically tune the website using the skinning technology for your customer. So putting in the tracking phone number, changing up some services. So say, for example, it's a plumber, and you have listed a whole bunch of unique selling points for generic plumbers, but your renter only has like 4 options of the 10 you listed, so you remove them quickly. So you basically tune the whole website towards your customer, so it actually converts as best as possible. Back to you, Herc. I think you're on mute.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was on mute. So what you guys are actually seeing here isn't actually Asbestos Law Pro, it's a skin of it. I didn't do too many changes. This used to just say home, and this used to say asbestoslaw.pro. But what I did is I took a copy of it, and I can do whatever I want to it. So you can be able to do that to a client site, okay, and put your call tracking number on it. You change it, whatever you want. You can set up, like Steven said, a landing page based on all your rankings, and then put a call tracking number on it that you control, that goes to your client, so that you can prove to your client that you're the one sending the calls. Okay, there's just so much you can do with skinning technology, and this particular technology doesn't exist in other overlay softwares that are out there, at least that I know of. I was going to say at least that I know of. If anybody knows of anyone that can do something like this with an overlay, let me know. The fourth thing that I want to show you guys is actually, I'll get Steven to explain this one as well, is YouTube videos. Another really unique thing about Local Supremacy is you can do the trials, okay, like the mini trial pop-ups that I showed you. You could do the full overlays that I showed you. You can do the skinning technology that I showed you, but you can also rent out YouTube videos. So a lot of people are really good at ranking YouTube videos. There's a lot of systems out there that, like Gprobe is one of them, for instance, that shows you how to go out and basically probe Google for YouTube videos, and they're ranking tons and tons of these videos. But Local Supremacy actually gives you the ability to actually rent those YouTube videos out as well. So I'm going to just get Steven to, do you want to take the screen, or do you want to just guide me?
I can take the screen here.
Sure. Can you take it, or do you want me to pass it?
Pass it to me, please.
And then as you're doing that, I just want to answer Joe's question. I saw him ask, how fast do you usually see lazy rentals being snapped up? And it does depend. Steven already answered, so it depends on a lot of factors. Yeah, it's like how much traffic do you have? How good is your site? How professional does it look? There's a lot of factors involved in there. How many leads do you have coming in? Are you aggressive at following up with your leads? Some people do it. I'll show you guys some results from current users of this later on, but that right now, I'll leave that for a bit later, but we'll show you some results of how fast people have got this stuff done. It can be really, really fast.
All right, can you guys see my screen now? You'll have to narrate a little bit for me, Herc, because I'm on a small screen, so I can't see the chat or whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. All right, so right here we are in the managed SERP asset part, and as you can see, I already have a few YouTube videos listed. So basically, you're just going to show, you'll add a YouTube video here, just paste the URL and add video. You'll be sent to YouTube, and they will ask you for permission, and then we'll add you. And you can add as many videos as you want from as many different YouTube channel accounts that you have. So let me just open up one. Gonna check out here. All right, so after you loaded it, it basically pulls in the title, the description, and all that kind of stuff. So the thing with YouTube is obviously we cannot show pop-ups on youtube.com. That would be impossible. Of course, I would never allow that. There's limited, but we have been creative, and we created a pretty cool kick-ass way to actually still rent out your videos. Sorry, needed to cough there for a second. Okay, so basically we're giving you 4 different options you can turn on and off. As you can see here, Renter can edit the video description. That's the one we recommend. Renter can add video text, not edit, only add ones. You know, you can offer it to your customers. There's not a lot of extra value for you, so you can just turn it off basically. Then there's the captioning tool, which is also really cool. I'll get into that in a second. And you can allow the renter to edit the video title. Obviously, for anybody that knows a little bit about YouTube ranking, that's actually quite dangerous. If you do that, like, and your renter changes the video title to something that doesn't rank at all, you might tank your ranking. So, like it says here, not recommended. But still, the option is there. So whenever you change something, just hit save, and then you see the different options down here. So the video description settings is what it's all about. All right, so this video I just chose has just a really small video description, just one URL. Obviously, if you do rank your videos, you probably have a little bit of a bigger video description with some keywords in there and stuff like that. A good thing to know is that the first 2 lines of the video description are the lines that are always visible. I think for anybody that does a little bit of YouTube ranking, you'll notice. So that's basically your prime real estate. So that's what you want to rent out. And what you do here is just select any part of the text of your whole description, like this. Again, like this. Like that, and indeed, you see the color change. What this means is that the renter of your YouTube video is going to be able to change just this part of the description. So any text you select in the description, and it turns this kind of green here, your renter is going to be able to change just that part of the description. And then when done, you just hit Save Changes. And then when you rent it out, renters can just change out the URL, change out a few names, and a call to action as well. And then we move on to the captioning tool. Captioning tool is actually, this video doesn't have any captioning, then the captioning is not going to work, obviously. Let me just quickly go to another one, maybe this one. Let's see. All right, so again, here you can see the description is a little bit bigger. You can just select any part of what your renter can edit, and then to the captioning tool settings. So captioning is a really often forgotten ranking factor in videos, but it's also really powerful. So you can create, I always very strongly recommend to create a captioning. YouTube has their own tool for that, and it's pretty kick-ass. So I'm not going to say that this captioning tool itself is going to be better or easier to use than what YouTube already offers you. However, what this really excels in is that you can actually lock and unlock caption blocks. So you can, this is a caption block, it starts at this time and it ends at this time, and etc. basically. And what you can do is you can unlock and lock them, just like this button over here. And you can see the update over here in the right lower corner. What this means is when it's unlocked, that means your renter is going to be able to edit that specific block. So why would you do that? Well, you can you can tell your renters, like, you can put your call to action in there. So, for example, instead of the text that it actually says in your video, they can put in, call us now at 555 Mr. Plumber. And that's a really powerful call to action within the video, obviously. Now, this is captioning. Back in the day, there used to be a way to force captioning on all the time, but YouTube took that out. So the call to actions in the captioning is only effective when people have captioning turned on. But that's still quite a few visitors for sure, especially if you're also working with, for example, English videos in Spanish markets, which is actually a very powerful way to rank, and they're very easily to rank as well.
And it works good too, Stephen, like if you control the YouTube videos, right? Because you can be responsible for putting in the captioning into that video so that you know you're working with captioned stuff.
Yes.
And there are tons of methods out there for ranking YouTube videos. So all you have to really do with this software, go out there and rank a bunch of YouTube videos for like local markets, and then you control the YouTube video, you control the captioning. You can come in and put all the, you know, like the contact information, the call to actions, and those are what you can rent out to any like businesses that want to take them. So you're ranking them, and then you're giving the client control of them. That's what you're renting out.
Exactly. So yeah, that's basically it. The rent me funnel is similar, like what I just explained. You do basically just select the URL, and then as the video description in the first 2 lines, you can just say something like, this video is for rent, and then automatically we can add a sales page, and then basically create the funnel. But I think Herc is going to show you a little bit more about both the sales page builder and the pop-up builder. But this is kind of how it shows. You rent this video, more info, and this URL will then dynamically be replaced by a sales page you can create also in our software, and is also hosted by us on a very fast server with CDN and everything like that. Okay, I think that's kind of it for the YouTube video function. So back to you, Herc.
Okay, I just want to cover a couple of questions that I'm seeing pop up. Eddie T asked, is there a reason I cannot get the same SERP results as you? I don't really know who you are, or what kind of level SEO you are, Eddie, or what tools you're using, but the tools that we use to get the results that I showed you was SERPtech. That was like the webinar 1 build that I went over. I know that's super helpful. Like I've ranked tons of shit. I've never been able to rank this much shit that fast. So I guess that kind of answers that question. He also asked, what's the longevity of these rankings? Because I know you guys, we all know that mass sites are suspicious to Google, and we all know that other tools have problems with indexing. They have problems with de-indexing. We know that overlays are scary, you know what I mean, that Google's on to interstitials and overlays. Like, we know about all these things, guys, because we are SEOs. All 4 of us are SEOs, so we know about these things, and that's what we tried to do with these tools, is build tools that kind of combated the most common problems that people have when they're doing mass builds and overlays, because I mean, it's a big market for SEOs because it works, you know what I mean, but it's kind of breaking lately. And I feel like these are 2 of the best solutions out there for that. The answer to the question, though, Eddie, without getting too long-winded, Jason's been building with this method. This is his software. SERPtech is really actually Jason's. He developed it. He's been building these sites for 2 years. Actually, Jason, do you want to come on? I'd rather them hear from you than me on the longevity of things, because, I mean, you really have been building that long.
I think you kind of captured it there, Herc. Yeah, so I've been building for about 2 years. In terms of these types of sites, but as the webinars kind of highlighted, the rankings, the strong, the stick, we're able to go in, dominate markets, and like Herc said initially, that, you know, if you go to a potential customer, you know, and you show the customer that, look, not only am I, you know, page 1, position 1, but I've taken the page, I think that really speaks volumes. You know, so like Herc said again, you know, there's been nothing like this since 2009. You know, it really is that good. And obviously with the combination of SERPtech and LocalSupremacy, you know, it's a winner. It's a winner.
And okay, Jason, how many sites have you had de-indexed because they were mass builds using SERPtech technology?
I've had none at all.
Not one. So there you go. And I know, Eddie, we can't prove that, you know, online, because we can't show you every domain he's ever built and whether it's still indexed. But trust me, like, it's not one of my sites. I'm on. Actually, I'll show you guys something. Okay, I track every site that I build. Okay, let's do this. I'll show you guys all the sites that I've built so far. I don't mind doing that. Okay, here they all are, guys. Like, I'm getting, number one, I'm getting better and better every time I build because I'm understanding the software and the build. It's relatively easy, like you saw on the front, but the things you'll get better at is, like, you know, choosing better keywords, possibly researching markets. For instance, here's an example. As best
Don't you need to, did you grab the screen already?
Oh, no, I gotta grab the screen. Yeah, I'll show it next. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go, guys. So these are all, can you see it now? Give me a 1 if you guys can see my screen, please. Just want to make sure you're seeing it.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, awesome. So these are all the builds I've done, guys, and like I said, as you're building more and more, you get smarter and smarter, right? Like, so one of the examples, for instance, was Asbestos Law Pro. I'm obviously going after mesothelioma lawyers, right? And it's a huge CPA payout. But what I did is, when I was doing keyword research, is I was like, all right, what are the states that have the highest rates of mesothelioma cancer? And what are the states that have the highest rates of of asbestos insulation? You know what I mean? So that you just get kind of smarter like that. You go after better keywords, you go after better states, you get more creative with your builds, you can start being, you just get better, just put it that way. So I've been also tracking our indexation rates and everything, guys. You do see, when you build these sites, you do see an initial boost, and then it'll go down, but it always comes back up. And we actually have a way in the software to, if your site, like, say you index with 100 pages and then you wake up tomorrow and you're down to 40, we have a way to immediately boost that back up over to 100. But honestly, over time, they continue to, like, get more and more pages indexed, like these sites have. And then this one's awesome because this is the only one I've done any SEO at all to. I built one backlink on March 21st, and it's, you can see it went from 23 to 47 to 5 to 5,300 results. Guys, I don't have a 5,300 page website. This is a really big takeaway here, okay? I don't have a 5,300 page website. I think this site was targeting, it only built about 300 pages, but we're indexing so many URLs, right? So one PDN, and it sticks harder, it indexes better, and it ranks better. So this was the one that I showed you with just pages and pages of #1 links. And we are also building in an automatic, so right now we have a solution to go in and re-index, but it's already, we have a ton of updates coming to SERPtech itself that's going to handle it for you automatically, and it's just really badass shit. I did see another question that I wanted to answer. I told you to answer you in a second. It was related to how fast you usually see the rentals being snapped up, and, like, so basically, how fast can I make money? Everybody wants to know that. I totally get that. So what we did, guys, April 7th, to our own members in our group, this was Friday, April 7th, which was, what, 5 days ago, I created a contest for a $200 cash prize to the person who could go out there and legitimately prove, okay, that you built a site and you were able to turn that into cash into your bank, okay? And we did that, and here we had 4 people message in. So this is in our Facebook group, so I wanted to show you this. We have 3 people now have either booked jobs or made money. So Chris Peters booked a job for his own company, so he actually owns a, I believe it was a, I don't even know what that kind of company he has, a plumbing company, I believe it was. He built a plumbing site, he put his own company's info on it, and he's booking jobs off that build already. Olivier, he has a company that wants to rent out 3 of his builds for $18,000 to $2,000 a month. Okay, that's great. You have a company that wants to, but that wasn't good enough for me. I was like, no, I want to see the money in the bank. So Rob Garden comes in, and he posted in the group that he invoiced the client for $1,250 a month for one of his builds. And I was like, not good enough. I need the money. I need to see the money in the bank. So he actually posted it. He posted the image somewhere in. So here was the invoice, and I was like, no, man, you need to post the image of your bank. So he did that. And I'm not going to go digging through the comments here, but I know it's in here. But he did post that he actually had the money in the bank. So, I mean, these guys, that was 5 days ago, and we have 4 people that are turning this into cash. Go ahead.
And not to mention actually we had a training webinar earlier today for our softwares. We do that every week. There were quite a few people on the training webinar that were telling us they already made some serious money with.
I actually screenshotted that.
Oh yeah, you did.
And that was this guy. So this was me. This was me posting about the site that I built for you guys this morning. That carpet site that's ranking #1. Here's Rob Gordon with his invoice. Where's the one screenshot though? We got lots of these. I'll actually share this URL with you guys because it's all SERPtech testimonials. But the one that came in from the webinar that we held earlier was right here. I sold 5 sites for $1,000 a piece in commissions on confirmed sales. But if it goes well, the client would like to buy or support 50 to 100. So it's hard to put into words. It's so damn impressive, the speed and the amount of rankings that you can get. It's become so easy to impress clients to get cash out of them, because like I said, guys, what we've done is we've basically cut the sales process in half. We're not starting at, you need trust and you need a portfolio and you need all this shit to be able to go into a sales meeting with confidence. You need friggin' results. That's what you need to sell, is you need results. Results sell. And that's what these guys are doing. That's why we have these members doing this kind of shit. So I'll share this link with you guys if you want to go through all the testimonials. I won't go through them. Just one second. Let me grab it for you. SERPtech testies.
Yeah, this is basically just the only and real way to guarantee #1 results.
Let me post this in your chat box so you guys can go through that on your own time. There you go. So basically what it boils down to here, guys, is what we've done is we've created 2 pieces of software, but they work together. They work together perfectly, okay? Initially, we had Steven approach us with his LocalSupremacy software, and we were going to sell that on its own because it is a really badass overlay software. It does a lot of things that the other ones don't. Like I said, you can overlay, you can do mini trials, you can do skinning, the skinning technology nobody else has, and then you can also rent YouTube videos. One of the biggest safety concerns with overlays, you guys probably already know this, everyone's like, well, don't sites that are overlaying get penalized? But one of the other things that LocalSupremacy does, and you can't see it, it's what it does in the background to protect you guys against Google's prying eyes from actually seeing your sites, and so we're just protecting our users from the penalties of being overlaid. So without getting into too much, Steven, do you want to cover, without telling them, because we can't give away all our secrets, but why the software is so safe to use for the technologies?
Yeah, so basically there's 3 technologies that help the software. There's overlay, overlay plus, and there's the skinning technology. Well, skinning technology is just basically split testing engines. So yeah, well, obviously, if you know a little bit about the internet, a split testing engine is 100% okay, legit with Google. There's no problem whatsoever. Otherwise, tools like Optimizely, VWO.com would all be made useless. So that's just 100% safe. And then the overlay technologies, both of them are a little bit different. We'll cover that in the training in detail, but for this webinar that's not that important. But basically what we do is we detect Google and we'll just shut down the whole system, so Googlebot cannot see any of the overlays. And even if people would go manual check your website from the Google offices, they would not see any overlay. And by the way, we have proof of this, where I demo what Googlebot sees. There's a function in your Google Webmasters, which I normally wouldn't recommend to connect with your site, but just for the demo, it's in the user guides area in the training. We completely show you step by step that Googlebot does not see anything of the overlays or the scanning technology for that matter.
Do you guys want to see an example of that, of what Google sees on an overlay. I won't do it if you guys don't want to see it, but if you do, I will cover it. It's not really important. I mean, it is important. It's what makes the software so good, but...
Joe says, sure, show us. There's one good question, though, from, I'm not sure how to pronounce, Jay, I guess. He's asking, this may have been asked already, it hasn't been asked, but it's possible to rent out different pages to different clients. Yes, our software works with the concept of assets. An asset, we have made it a little bit, well, I'm going to say vague, but that's not really the term I'm looking for. English is not my first language, but assets can be anything, basically, and that's what makes it so powerful. So you can, one asset is rented out to one customer. An asset can be a group of URLs, it can be a whole website, it can even span multiple websites if you want it to be. Is that kind of clear? Maybe Herc is a little better in explaining that concept, but I hope that makes sense to you guys. Herc, you might be on mute again.
Damn it. Okay. So yeah, I'll expand a little bit. Guys, you already know from the first webinar. If you haven't seen it, you'll watch it. You already know that we can rank sites in multiple locations, meaning some clients don't exist in all the locations that you want to rent them out to. So you can actually slice a website up using this software, LocalSupremacy. And let's say, for instance, you're targeting a bunch of cities in Texas. But one client's in Dallas and the other client's in Houston. Okay, what you can do is, and we won't really show it in detail, but what you can do is set wildcards so that every page on your site that has the word Dallas on it will be overlaid to that Dallas client. And then the other one, every site that has Houston in the URL will be overlaid to a different client under a different asset brand, meaning you could be billing automatically 2 different times or more. It doesn't have to be 2, I'm just saying it for simplicity. You can do it for 2 different clients on the same site. So the easy way to think about an asset, guys, an asset is simply something you're billing to a client, whether it be 1 site, 3 sites, 30 pages on a single site, it doesn't matter. Whatever that package is that you're billing out to a client is what's considered an asset. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now, I will show this. I'll try and be really quick about this. I want to show you what Google sees, okay, through their eyes when you overlay a site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn this back to an overlay plus. Okay, and then I'm going to go into my funnel. Okay, and I'm going to edit. I'm going to actually delete this one. Okay, so I'm going to select this URL and I'm going to go back to overlay. Okay, so I'm going to create the funnel and I'm going to have to specify a URL. So the one I've been using just to kind of make my point is this URL on my own site. I'm hiding from you. Okay, it's just a page that I put on a WordPress blog. That's all it is. But I'll still display what it does. So then they're saying, what's your overlay? So I'm going to do this. And as your questions are coming in, guys, we will get to them. I know guys are answering in the box too, but if I want to expand on them, I think I'll do that too. Okay, so we've overlaid basically a different page onto this asbestoslaw.pro site. So I'm going to go over there now. So I'm putting in asbestoslaw.pro, okay, and I'll have to probably refresh it to have the overlay show up properly because I had skin set before. Okay, so there's the overlay, Asbestos Law Pro. So now what we're going to go do is we're actually going to look at it through through Google's bot viewer. Where is that guy? Okay, this tool right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at Asbestos Law Pro. So I'm going to pop this URL into here, and then I'm going to select the user agent. Okay, and I'm going to make the search bot the Google bot. Okay, and then I'm going to analyze it. Now, this isn't the best test. There's a better test actually by submitting this to Webmaster Tools and then pulling in, you know, rendering sitemap and pulling it in, or the actual site itself. That's a better way to do it, but we typically, with these sites, don't want to give Google any info at all, so this is the next best way that I can prove it. So here's what, with the overlay on, so if you go to asbestoslaw.pro, it's this you can't see my site because of SERPtech and local supremacy. But what Googlebot sees, okay, is a 200 status of asbestoslaw.pro. Okay, they're seeing asbestoslaw.pro. They're not seeing the overlay. So that's kind of the safety and a kind of a visual aspect. There's more to it than that in the technical aspect, but it is safe. It is a very safe way to do things. All right. Affiliate. Okay, somebody's asking about, can you build sites for affiliate? And you actually can. I know that in the webinar, when we built that site, it asks you for a spreadsheet based on a geographical locations file. But really, all those are, guys, is just a silo. So let me open up a site. I did fat burning pills because I wanted to test geo. It is a little bit more difficult. You will have to understand the local build before I suggest you go after affiliate, because you just have to build your like I call it the geo, your silo spreadsheet a little bit better. So let me open it up and show you what I did. So instead of doing like the state on the top and all the cities underneath, what you can do is something like this, okay, for affiliate. You could do, let me zoom in. So you could do like a type, so I'm doing weight loss site, right? So like going after like forskolin and green coffee bean and mangosteen and all the shit like oolong tea or whatever. But instead of using states, I'm using categories. So forskolin pills, forskolin powder, forskolin capsules, forskolin tablets. It can be used for affiliate. The only difference is how you upload your CSV file and do your keyword research. But this is an example of a setup for affiliate. So it absolutely does do affiliate as well, Robert. And I believe that's e-commerce. Harry's asking about e-commerce. It'd be the same thing, Harry. It's all about keyword research and setting up your silos. Just remember, these are the top of the silo. This is all the shit under the silo in each category. So this is a 6-silo site. Okay, we have silo for pills, powder, capsules, tablets, supplements, and drops. We have 6 silos and approximately 21 or 22 posts per silo in an affiliate or e-commerce fashion. So that's really it, guys. That's really it for the software. What do you guys think? Before we show you guys what this thing costs, let me just get a little bit of feedback. Are you guys loving it? Do you think it's bullshit? What's up? Or if there's any more questions as well. Or do you guys just want the buy link? Thank you, Gary. Okay. So what we'll do, guys, is I'm going to drop the link into here and we'll go over it with you, okay, for what we'll do for you guys and Keith as your Keith's customers. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat, okay? And then I'm going to go over to that page and explain it all for you.
Hey, Eric, can you put that on your notepad too as well for those that can't see the link in the chat?
On my notepad? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. This thing. Okay, guys, here's the link if you guys want to grab that software. Make it nice and big for you. Okay, baxtermind.com supremacy. Okay, now I'll just explain how this works, okay? So what you're going to get, guys, you're actually going to get both pieces of software. You're not going to just get one or the other, okay? You'll get both. They work in tandem together. They work really, really well together, okay? And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to sell these 2 pieces of software for $9.97, okay? But we're going to give you a coupon. I'll cover that in a second. And then you also have to do pick a package. After you pay your initiation fee, okay, it'll be $47 per month after 30 days for 250 rentable assets and installs. What that means is you can install SERPtech on 250 sites and you can bill out 250 clients for $47 a month. Or with the $97 a month package, once again, starts after 30 days, you can build 9,999 sites. Okay, which is like if you reach 9,999, call me. I'll give you another 9,999 more. Okay, and you can also bill 9,999 credits. Now we do know that $997 is a lot for certain people, so there's two things we want to mention, okay? Number one, we do have PayPal credit available for you to get rid of that $997 pay today sort of feeling, okay? So with PayPal credit, you guys can get this with no payments and no interest for 6 months. No payments, no interest for 6 months, and your recurring, your $47 package or your $97 package doesn't happen for 30 more days. It's $1 to start it, and then it doesn't happen for, you don't get the first payment for 30 days. But we want to do one more thing, guys. We want to give you a coupon. Todd, you want to talk about the coupon?
Yeah, what we decided to do here, guys, is give you $100 off, and I've set this up currently in the back end. The coupon code will be Keith100. Okay, so if you use the coupon code Keith100, the first 25 of you guys, and the last time we did this, they went in about 10 minutes total. So you want to be quick. $100 off using the coupon code Keith100. So for those of you in the U.S., I believe PayPal credit is only available in the U.S. Apologize for that, but that's the majority of you guys that are on the call right now. And if you use PayPal credit, use the $100 off. It'll be $897. Use PayPal credit, and there'll be no payment for 6 months. And then all you gotta do is you know, pay $1. $1. So you basically get the first 30 days absolutely for $1 to give this, you know, put some work into this. We've already showed you multiple examples of. You know, a lot of people using this, a lot of people ranking all over first page. I don't even think, I'm not sure if Herc showed you the first half of these testimonials where people first got in about 10 days ago, I guess. Our group, we let only, you guys are only the second people to ever see this. Only our group has been in so far. And there's just so many people that have just wow testimonials of getting first page results rather quickly. There's a ton more training videos inside the members area, and I know what we went over is not just your average $37 click this button and voila. Okay, if you've ever bought those things, you know they don't work. All right, these two pieces of software have been in the works for years, a couple years, and they're very intelligent. And there's been a lot of work and a lot of thought and a lot of testing and a lot of trial and error put into them to make sure that they're effective and they work. And so, you know, that's why it works so well, and that's why there's so many people that once they log into the members areas here and they watch a few training videos on how to prepare your CSV files, how to look up your keywords. This video right here, OTS build, the one Herc is showing right now on his screen, he spent a couple of hours the other day and created a great over-the-shoulder training that goes very in-depth into some great keyword research and how to exactly build the site he did for GarageDoor.min, and we started getting a lot of rave reviews. Some people are saying just the keyword research training alone was worth gold. So there's not only that training video, but there's also across the top there are some really short and sweet 5 to 10 minutes long. I think the longest one on there is somewhere around 15 minutes, but most of those.
7.
Oh, really? Okay, 10 minutes is going to be the longest one you're going to see in there. 7 to 10 minutes, and they're really sweet, short, and to the point, so you can get building right away, really quickly. And then after you've watched those, then you can go ahead and give it a shot. And I promise you, most of you are going to get it right out of the gate. About 80% of the time is what we're seeing. And then if you're still having a little bit of issues on what exactly to do from start to finish, go watch the OTS build, over the shoulder. Phenomenal training right there. We're also doing weekly training webinars every Wednesday. We've already had 2. We actually just did one earlier today for our current members, and they're great. There's so much interaction in there, and so many great questions, and so many great answers, and a lot of people even giving us tips from the crowd. I mean, we have a lot of really smart members. If Herc goes back to that SERPtech Facebook group, there's just massive amounts of activity going on inside this group from members that are asking questions, that are posting results, everyone's helping each other out, and we're all sharing information on what's working for them. I mean, and if you also look at these two pieces of software, there's not just one exact way of doing something. Okay, there's still so much to be uncovered in these softwares, so much more that we haven't even experimented with to know whether or not what certain tweak here or certain twist there gives us the best results. And then the great thing about that group is people are always talking it up. And this is a lot of these members come from Project Supremacy, and some of you may or may not have heard of Project Supremacy, but it's one of our other software tools that we developed a couple of years ago, and it has an enormous following and a lot of super smart SEOs and a lot of super successful people. So they're a part of our fold. It's great to get to know a lot of them. There's a lot of connections being made inside our group as well. So not only is it the software, not only is it the training, but it's also a fabulous community of super successful people in there, and we can't be more proud of what we've got going on here. So
I have a couple notes to add to what you said too, because we didn't even really mention it, but there is if you guys don't know what Project Supremacy is, it is an SEO software, kind of like we built it to replace Yoast, but it does a killer job at adding schema as well. And schema is the thing that you need in order to get stuff like this, like these stars, guys. These stars increase, these rating stars, this is my Asbestos Law Pro site, they increase click-throughs, right? When people see this shit, it just stands out over top of all the other listings, so it helps increase click-throughs. And Project Supremacy is a plugin that literally it takes you 2 seconds to add these stars to every single page of your site, no matter if it's like 200 or 500 pages. Yes, you're just asking the question now, and I just want to show you. You can get, you also get one of these 3 bonuses, guys. It's a choice. We kind of did like an a la carte bonus. Pick the one that you want. And I'll explain them kind of briefly. Our 8-week rank and rent training is training that Todd and I did to show you guys how to rank like an EMD style. And if you don't know what EMD is, exact match domain. It just teaches you a lot about SEO and backlinking and on-page strategies to rank for multiple keywords per page, and how we were able to push that website to #1. But it also still applies to what you're doing with SERPtech as far as like the back end of things. Like when you first put your sites out, if you're not quite as happy with your rankings like I was this morning with the carpet site, you can still push those up. I mean, it's a competitive niche. I didn't realize how competitive it was, so I didn't quite get as much bang for my buck out of the box that I thought I would until I moved the site to Canada. The second site that I showed you guys that did hit #1 all over the place, I actually went up to Canada to do that, and that's something you can do. But it'll teach you a lot about pushing those sites further up in the rankings, okay? Keyword Supremacy is another product that Todd and I developed, and it's a keyword research tool, okay? So it just helps you to find keywords. It also does local keyword research. Nobody else has a keyword tool that does local research, so you can literally put in a word like plumber and then say, show me all the cities in California that have a population between 300,000 and 800,000, and show me all the best keywords for that plumber in those cities, okay? And it does really cool shit like that. So you can get 150 credits to run with that. Keyword Supremacy also doesn't run on like normal keyword tool pricing where you have to pay every month to keep using the tool. We decided to be a lot more fair about it, and we only want you to pay, well, you don't have to pay anything if you choose it as a bonus, but for people that did buy it, you only pay for what you use. So you buy a package of credits, you use up your credits, and then when you want to, play more, you put in more quarters into the machine, and then you can, and that's how it works. Or you can choose Project Supremacy, okay? We can give a 5-site license to anyone that wants Project Supremacy. And Todd, do you think we can do better than 5?
Hell yeah.
Let's do better than 5.
Let's do better than 5 for these guys.
You know what? Actually, let's do better than that. Everybody's going to get Project Supremacy.
Okay.
Everybody that buys before we're off this webinar, we're going to give you an unlimited site license.
Right, and then you can choose between one of the other two.
And then you can have one of the other.
Anybody that picks up today, choose one of the other ones, 8-week rank and rent or 150 keyword credits, and we're going to give you Project Supremacy V2, no problem. One thing I want to mention.
I think Herc might have been drinking, so if you really want this and you want this before he sobers up, you better get on it.
Yeah,
I'm standing up now. I'm just scratching my back, getting all excited.
Because one thing about that 8-week rank and rent training, I just really want to emphasize here is that that's a great course if you've never ranked a local site before. And I'll tell you this, that I convinced Herc that we were going to put our asses on the line and our money where our mouth is, because that's just the way we roll. And you will see in that 8-week training where we register the domain and take you through basically a 6-week process, and then we added 2 bonus weeks just to keep the mojo going there. But we took that from registering a domain to number 1. And number 2, I think, in some instances. A lot of double rankings on that site. So I can't be more proud of the job we did. Right there it is, number 1 and number 2. And it's been that way for over a year and a half now.
Can I just precursor this a little bit too?
Go right ahead.
With that training, guys, we go all the way from how do you even select a niche, like what's profitable, what's not profitable, where do you have the best chance to make the most money. And the reason we chose spray foam insulation versus just like regular insulation, spray foam is expensive as shit. That stuff's for rich people, so they get that. So that's why we went that way. And then we show you how to build the sites, how we ranked it. You can see here, guys, this is up in Edmonton. This is actually where I live, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we ranked above the maps with stars, and then as well number 2 and 3 below the map. So it kind of covers how we were able to do stuff like that. So it's a cool bonus. Yeah,
and you can tell by those AdWords ads above that page that people are going for that. People want that term.
I should SERPtech that market.
Yeah. Wow, sales are people are jumping in pretty hot and heavy now. I just took a look here. So wow, let's see. We can stay on for about 20 more minutes, and then we're going to cut this off. So about 20 more minutes here. There's still a few more coupons left.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, there's one more thing I kind of want to mention to you guys. We haven't really mentioned this before, but when you buy a software, especially when it's a little bit higher priced, like this powerful package right here, is the future of the software, obviously. So, especially Jason last week has been building and working his ass off already, and maybe he can kind of go into that, but the updates that are already coming there have been amazing. We from Local Supremacy, we have already updated our integration plugin, and there's so much more really awesome stuff to come. So maybe Herc, you can kind of go over that.
Herc, mute. Sorry. Listen, I don't want to be. I was typing this, so I wasn't really listening to what you were saying.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I was just going to say, guys, already we have a great update coming for SERPtech. We've taken a lot of feedback from the current members who've only been in a couple of weeks. We've been pushing ideas and suggestions over to Jason and experimenting with different things here and there, and we've come up with some winners. And Jason already has produced a new update, 3.1. Is that correct, Jason?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right on. There he is. So that's coming out. We're still testing it right now, but it's already got a lot of really cool new features and updates coming. So, this isn't some software that's going to go away next week or next month or next year even. This is a big deal, and we're going to continue to obviously make it better and better and better. And if you've ever been a member of any of my products over the past 20 years, or maybe even you're a member of Project Supremacy, you know that we don't stop. We have a full-time programming crew of 5 that work 5 days a week and continuously put out good stuff for us. The same thing goes for Steven. Steven has a small team behind Local Supremacy as well. Now he's obviously the head honcho there and the main developer, but he also has some major updates coming up that we're going to share with you guys next week. Next week's going to be a big reveal for all the new updates that we're coming out with and everything. Steven, if you want to mention something about the paper lead, you can, or if you just want to just hold that back, that's fine. But I will tell you guys that yeah, Steven's right. There's a lot of cool stuff already in the works. Updates, support is always there. Facebook group is always there. So you're certainly not going to be left out in the cold. Absolutely not.
Yeah, just basically what you said, the paper lead, I think that's kind of where I want to leave it at. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what paper lead is. And paper lead software, I've done the research, so you just got to trust me, or you can just fact verify later in Google as well. A lot of the paper lead distribution softwares are around, the cheapest one I found was $165 a month, but it looked really crappy. And the ones that actually look a bit better and function a little bit better, they go from $300 a month to like over $1,000 a month. And what we are going to do with Local Supremacy is we are going to give you that same functionality. So we are going to build in a system where like the business model shifts from the rank and rent model to a pay-per lead model, where you can just automatically, instantly deliver leads that come from your website directly to your clients, and then invoice those clients per lead you deliver.
Yeah, I'm so excited about the pay-per lead. I remember when we were first getting on with Steven and checking out his software. And this was probably 2 months. Guys, this whole entire situation has been in the works for probably around 9 months, if not more. With Steven, Jason came along a little bit in I think late December, early January. We discovered Jason and his amazing software and put them together. But before that, man, we were getting on with Steven and testing his stuff out and amazed at it. And one of the things that I really kind of pushed for was a paper lead system. And I'm a big fan of the paper lead system because I started doing paper lead back in 1998, 1999, and I built a huge lead business that basically dealt with paper lead through email forms and whatnot. And man, I wouldn't be where I am today without the ability to manage a paper lead system. Back then, I was one of the only guys out there that had one of those systems, and I built it from scratch with a couple of programmers. I myself am a programmer from early on, but other people do my programming for me now. But I sold that company for almost $3 million. Let's put it that way. And so paper lead was one of the things that I talked to Steven about, and he was more than happy to work with me on that and get something going in that direction for Local Supremacy. So I'm really excited to know that we're going to be able to push our traffic to some forums, generate some leads, send them to some clients, and either pre-bill or post-bill for those leads. And I know from experience how lucrative selling leads is. So great to hear, Steven.
Yeah, Herc, maybe you can, Joe just asked a good question. What's the white label module and the overlay plus for the bigger package? Maybe you can touch on that a little bit.
Sure. So when you guys, let me well, basically, so when you guys get over to the other side, okay, for those, I don't want to show it on the screen here because not everybody's buying, but for the guys that are buying and the gals that are buying, on the next page after your purchase, you're going to actually set up right away. There's no upsells or anything like that. We don't do that sort of stuff. On the next page, you fill in your details for your Local Supremacy account, and that'll hook you up to Local Supremacy, like supply your username and password and email and stuff like that. It'll also hook you up with SERPtech. And then you got to pick your package so that when we're talking about the 4.7 or the 9.7, so the white label module, what that's going to allow you to do with Local Supremacy is use the software. When your clients rent a site out from you, they get their own billing portal, okay, that they come into and they can manage their shit with you. But it's all branded to Local Supremacy, right? But the white label module is going to allow you to brand that to your own business, so that the back end looks like it's yours and not necessarily Local Supremacy. So you can have your business logo, your business, like all the emails that the software sends out automatically will come from your email. It just completely brands it to your business, so it doesn't even look like you're using third-party software. It looks like the whole thing is yours. It's just so impressive from a client perspective. And then, so that's the white label module. And then the Overlay Plus system is, well, that's more technical in detail. So basically, we have the two types of overlays, guys. We have the Overlay and the Overlay Plus. They're both very, very safe to use, okay? But the Overlay Plus just takes one extra step where it grabs a cache of whatever you're overlaying, okay? And it actually serves that cache to people that are visiting your site. But if it detects for any reason that it's like Google coming to visit your site or anything, it completely shuts down the entire system. It doesn't even serve a cache or nothing. It just lets Google see the site. There's no overlay that's even there. So it basically shuts down the overlay before Google gets to your site. The other overlay is still safe, okay? This one's just like one extra layer of protection. And you get the white label and the Overlay Plus on the 9.7. Plus, it's not really unlimited because it's 9,999 assets plus installs of SERPtech, but that's as unlimited as you can get because nobody is going to build 10,000 sites.
Yeah, and if
anybody, like I said, come back to me, I'll give you another 10,000.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to get a little bit technical, because there's always a few guys out there, one of the biggest reasons we created Overlay Plus is that a lot of people said, like, okay, we understand you have a system to protect and then just shut the whole thing down when Google comes around, but still, you know, overlay, it's the normal overlay uses an iframe technology, and iframes are bad and this and that, and we explained, well, it's not the case because you're protected, blah blah blah, but still they insisted iframes are bad. So Overlay Plus is the only overlay software in the world. I'm like 99% sure of this. I've done quite a bit of research on it. Is the only overlay software in the world that does not use an iframe to overlay the website.
Awesome. So here's my challenge to you guys that are getting in. Okay. It's kind of going to be like what we did with these guys, the $200 challenge. Okay. Except I'm going to offer it to everybody. Except it's not going to be $200 because I don't want to pay everybody $200. But anybody that's getting in tonight, okay? If you can, in your first 30 days, and I'll give you 30 days to do this. If you can, in your first 30 days, go get a site built, or build as many as you want, and rent one out to a client, and then prove it to me the way that Rob Gordon did, I'll send you $100. But I'll do that for everybody that joins today. Okay? And it's just encouragement for you guys as well. We really want you to work the system because the system works, right? It's build a site. It takes 24 hours to get the rankings, 48 if you need to use it a couple times to get used to it. It can happen really fast. We showed you guys those guys that are making it really, really quick. So anybody that joins today, within the first 30 days, if you can go up and grab your client, I'll throw you $100. But you have to show me your PayPal statement. You have to prove that it's real, because like Rob was like, here's an invoice I sent to a client, and I'm like, no, anybody could send me an invoice. You got to show me the money.
Herc, go back to your notepad, please, and put our support desk in case there's any. There's always someone has an issue with payment due to various reasons, and one of the things we always like to do is I know we offer these special bonuses, coupons and things of this nature, and people try to get in, and then for whatever reason they have some weird PayPal problem or computer problem, internet problem, and if that's the case, if that's you, hit us up on this desk and just let us know, what the issue is, and we've heard them all, trust me, so we'll know whether or not it's true or not, and just let us know there, and we'll do the best we can to work with you to get you, whatever it is that you're asking there. So there it is, supremacy.freshdesk.com. Please bookmark that, save it, and you can hit up Alex in our support desk, and he'll distribute your ticket to the appropriate, me or Herc or anyone on our team that you need help with. Jason or
Steve. And John, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that question. Can you go fuller, man?
All right. And on top of that, any more burning questions? We do have a couple of coupons left. You guys really, for a quiet group, you sure bought in droves there in the beginning, and got in, I should say. Really want to thank you. If you did get in already, go ahead and give me an I'm in there, so I can get familiar with your name. And I want to be able to call you out. And cool, thank you, Robert. And we'll see you. Eddie's in, I know that. Gary, welcome, Gary. David, good to see you. We are going to have our next training will be next Wednesday for you all. So I really encourage you all to be there. They're going to be held in the U.S. afternoon time, I believe around 3 p.m. Central, because I'm in Central, and so is Keith. I'm in Texas too, by the way, but I'm in Dallas. And so 4 Eastern, next Wednesday will be our first live training, and I really highly encourage you to come, to be there. If not, don't worry. We always have everything recorded and put up in our members area. We make sure that every single member gets every single bit of information that we ever put out, so don't worry about that. But welcome, Mick. Good to see you. I'd just like to see you guys' names, and we'll start getting familiar with you.
Let me show that training
as we're moving along here.
Guys, the training, so I just want to explain the training too to people. Like Todd said, we were going to do trainings every Wednesday on this for a while to help you guys really get on your feet with the builds, but we already did a training on the 5th, and then we did one today on the 12th. That will be uploaded tonight. But we also did, when we released this to our members, we took the same approach that we did with you guys. We really wanted to prove to our own members as well as you guys that we could do this live. So I actually uploaded the replays to when we actually released it to our own members as well. And there's just good info in there. There's a lot of Q&A at the end and just good info. So you guys have access to all of that. SERPtech and Local Supremacy Q&A webinar that we did. So there's just tons of training. It's all in the replays area. This is replays for training webinars, and this one, this little hat here is all the instructional videos. So you're fully, you should feel very confident that you have everything you need to get started and get it done really quickly. I want you guys to turn these around really fast and make your investment really fast back with this stuff, and you have the ability to do it if you hustle.
Kirk, if you can, just also kind of log into the user guides area of Local Supremacy and just kind of scroll through all the training there, so people can see it.
Sometimes I forget that we're selling 2 softwares, not one. But we have the same. It's the same thing, guys, with Local Supremacy as well. Because obviously, like I apologize, I kind of probably confused you a little bit about what's going on with Local. It is very simple to use once you just use it for a little bit. But like Steven said, there is all the training videos. The reason you're seeing SERPlease is it was formerly SERPlease. Steven, he built it as SERPlease, and then when Todd and I saw it, we made a deal. We're like, Steven, we love it. We would love to have it in our arsenal, so we partnered up. And Todd and I have a brand called Supremacy. So we have Project Supremacy, Keyword Supremacy. We have an AMP plugin, AMP Supremacy. We're doing all these Supremacy things. So it became Local Supremacy. SERPtech's the only one for some reason that's not turning into a Supremacy. It's SERPtech, but same deal. Jason's still going to be on board there, developing it and helping. It's with us. So we do this full time, guys. This is what we do, and we really try our best to only release quality software, because I can't stand the fucking podunk JD Zoo $47 you're gonna win softwares. It's driving up the fucking wall. Yeah, I don't want to say names, but. We make quality shit. We don't like a lot of those softwares. They come on the market because they know how to sell them in the mass droves, and they build the software. They put up this beautiful soft sales letter. They sell a whole bunch of it, and then that's it. They're on to the next one. They don't support it. They don't create groups like we do. They don't have trainings like they do. They're in it for the money. We're in it for the business. And you'll see that. You guys will see that when you get into our groups and use our softwares.
Okay, guys, a couple more coupons left here. We're about to run out, so get in now if you're going to take us up on this. Yep, I see some more people asking questions. There it is on the screen for you, Jason.
I'll pop it into you.
You know, I won't leave you hanging. You know, if the last couple of coupons are gone, you know, we will be closing up pretty soon. But I'll you know, I'll make the call here to open up some more coupons if there's still someone. I know there's some people that are, as usual, having the you know, the page won't load, the link doesn't work, it's just spinning.
Or they're recording the webinar to watch on their leisure.
Yeah.
Some people, lots of people do that. It's fine.
So we'll give you guys a little bit more time here, and you know, if you're already in and you want to ask some questions, certainly go right ahead. We will answer anything you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, for the guys that are kind of on the fence right now, so I just wanna be honest and straightforward. Like, what would it take for you guys to get into this? Like, tell us, be open about it.
We'll make it cheaper, Steven.
No, it's already so cheap.
It's a good deal, guys. These guys, the other two, those other guys that went out there, they're making more money recurring than they paid for it.
Yeah.
And the way we structured this, guys, because we know it's $997. You know, it's like even with a $100 coupon, we know that some people are going to look at that and be like, shit, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? But remember, we build quality products. We don't release them to the market until we have proof of concept that they work. These aren't theories. These are proof. Okay, we sell with proof. You can make your money back fast if you're hustling. You can rank these sites in 24 hours. You have the PayPal option to defer if you live in the US. You have the PayPal option to defer that $897 for 6 months, plus you don't pay your first recurring for 30 days. You should be able to, within 30 days, turn this investment around if you are a go-getter. If you're one of those guys that's kind of the serial, I buy everything and do nothing, you're going to lose some money. But this is for action takers. Yes, William. Welcome in, Mike. Anybody have any last questions? Because once this live Webby bonus is over, guys, we will shut down the unlimited V2 bonus, okay? You'll still get a choice of one of the three, but for everybody that's purchasing live on the Webby, we'll give you unlimited version 2 Project Supremacy. And there's a little caveat to that bonus as well that I never really mentioned. Todd and I are almost a year into development of V3, and I mean, without seeing it, you guys are really like, who gives a shit, what is it? Let me tell you, it is the most badass piece of software out there for SEOs who manage multiple sites. Okay, and what we're going to do is anyone who has an unlimited version of V2 will be able to transfer that over to V3 if they get that software. It's just it's kind of a preemptive bonus. So if you are thinking about buying it, get it right now. Get that unlimited V2 version of Project Supremacy, because it's going to carry over when we release V3, and V3 is seriously badass. William, we cover that inside the group. Like for people that are in it, we do have. He's asking basically, guys, about a hosting solution, and we do have a hosting solution, but it's not something that we're going public with. It's meant for more you guys at first, you know. No problem. Right on, Jason. Welcome in, buddy. Hopefully you guys, I know there's still a few of you on here. Can I just get some personal feedback, guys? Did you guys have a good time on these webinars? Did you learn some shit? You know what I mean? Are you glad you came? we just want to make sure that we're doing a good job with the webinars. It honestly wasn't my best 2 webinars, to be honest with you, but I do get a little better sometimes.
Yeah, I liked it.
Awesome. Thank you, Eddie.
I'm back.
I can get a little weird on webinars. You guys will see that in the replays and shit. Sometimes I go off sometimes.
Hey, you guys want a month free of hosting for these sites for buyers?
Hey, Todd, it's Keith. I do.
Hey, I thought that was your voice, but I wasn't sure. I just sat down and and I thought I heard your voice, and I was like, wait. I wasn't sure though. I didn't know if Steven was drinking again and his voice changed.
I use some other exotic locale.
Right on, right on. What did you think, Keith? How did we do?
Y'all did great, man. That's, you know, it's funny because I even told everybody in the emails. Well, I don't think I said this part. When I first saw this, I was just speechless. I mean, mind you, I come from a background of either creating or using just about every system out there that is, you know, let's just call it a mass page generator or something along those lines. And this one is excellent, but the overlay technology is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's just ridiculous. It's awesome.
Remember back in the day, NNT?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was kind of the one I referred to earlier. You know, me and Peter. Yeah, turned that thing into a friggin' monster, man. It was a mass page building craziness. I had that whole data center filled up with dedicated servers, and oh my gosh.
I had a few of them in the NNT days. The funny thing is, man, is the evolution of this technology from how rudimentary it was back then, even though we could do a little bit more because it was spam, you know, spam was still working. Well, I mean, it still works, but I mean, in just ridiculous keywords, it's just a different era. But now, it's just neat to see that it's still, the guys like y'all that are just really, really smart have taken the technology to a whole nother level. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, totally agree. You know, you've got to, you know, kind of roll with the punches and understand how you're getting hit, and then you know, make your changes. And Jason over there, you know, he's really come up with something that's, you know, kind of in between the old days, you know, not as rambunctious as we used to do it. It has a lot more thought built into it. He has taken all of the great on-page knowledge that's come out over the last few years and applied it to, you know, content and you know, content creation and mass page building. But I don't want to call this like a super mass page because we really don't build that many pages. But what happens is why you get so many rankings, and Herc showed in the beginning of just dominating that one city outside of El Paso. I mean, 8 of 10 were his site, and that happens a lot.
Well, let me tell you this, man. So let me just tell you my entire strategy when it comes to this. I don't think I've shared this with anybody before, but I use the 5-minute sites local keyword generator. If you're not familiar with it, just do a search for 5-minute site local keyword generator. I usually find the zip code that's in the center of whatever city I'm going for, and then I expand out about 20, maybe 25 miles outside of that. So, for instance, let me give you a real-world example. One of my markets is insurance, and you know, you can't just go for auto insurance anymore. But the market's still wide open for things like flood insurance, renters insurance, homeowners insurance, business insurance, anything like that. So you take all the suburbs, like for Houston, for example, has a good 20 suburbs. And I build out for all of those, keep it really tight. I might have, with all the permutations that I'm using, maybe 50 to 200 pages max. But it's really thematic. It's tight, and it is a pay-per-call lead generator's dream come true.
Right on. I'm looking at that site right now, and this is, wow, this is really cool. I've seen a couple of other sites similar to this, but I'm really liking all of the options and includes and excludes that you can do with this. Wow, this is great. You see that, Bert?
Well, I'm surprised you hadn't seen it, man. That tool is, you can get zips, you can get radiuses, and then with the radius, that's where the magic in this tool, this tool specifically, in my opinion, that's where the magic really happens, is because whenever you're focused on a city and its suburbs, now you're adding a whole nother level of how do you want to call it?
Relevance.
Just relevancy. You're just adding another layer of relevancy, because as you expand out to other major cities, well, now you're kind of diluting, and the relevancy is the state, but now you're bringing it to the city level. So it's
I just had a buddy start a business. He's doing insulation up in Edmonton, and I told him I was going to give him the spray foam site and send the calls his way, but he doesn't do spray foam. So I'm going to build another site for him. I live up in Edmonton, and there's probably about 15 major centers in Edmonton, like suburbs of Edmonton. And I'm just going to build him a site. Like, he's a buddy of mine. I'm going to do it for him for free. It only takes me 20 minutes, you know what I mean, with an 88-cent domain. And I'm just going to pound him and hopefully help my friend, just kickstart his business with phone calls and jobs.
And here's another thing is you can. I know that the rule of thumb with these, and most of us don't do any inbound linking to these, other than pinging them and getting them going. But once you do start seeing a little action, and maybe if you have webmaster tools and you start seeing the queries that are coming in on certain pages, and then you're developing a keyword ecosystem based on that, oftentimes you can get some kind of like a Web 2 Fiverr gig that just focuses on those queries. Now you're giving Google even more of what they want, because they have already deemed that page to be relevant, and as a result of that, it boosts the entire site because of the linking structure of these sites. So it's an interesting way of going about it and letting Google tell us specifically what keywords we need to be optimizing for beyond what we have told them we're optimizing for, just using the data from webmaster tools.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, these things spider incredibly well. I mean, you guys saw how we did all the interlinking and stuff. So,
this is power. That's what I like about it. And here, can I go on a little rant, guys? And I'm just gonna go on a little rant.
One second, Keith. Hey, yep. I'm starting to get messages here that coupon's expired now. So just hang on. I'm going to increase that because I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'm going to increase that to 15 more. And then, so you guys that are asking can go ahead and retry again. Okay, go ahead, Keith.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for taking care of my peeps like that. So there's been a few other mass generators that have come out over the last couple of months, and mind you, I've tested them all, and I will say that the other guys are still living in 2009. So it's neat to see somebody, in 2017 acting like it is, So I don't want to name names and be, disrespectful to other people that are in our circle, but let's just say that their tools don't quite do what this does.
There's some pieces of shit out there, like literal pieces of shit being sold for, $37 to $67. And it like, you hear my voice, like it pisses me off.
It
really does.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
So yeah, guys, use Google's data with them. Just trust me on this. If you go out and do a pay-per-call campaign, set up a city, maybe a 20-mile, 25-mile radius outside of that. Keep it real tight. It's going to be a small site, which is good, in my opinion. And then use Google's data to develop your keyword ecosystem beyond what you're optimizing for, and start getting the calls. Even if it's $10, $12, $50 a day, it took you 20 minutes to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that I want to mention, I think we forgot to touch on, was all of these domains that we've all been experimenting with and using and ranking so well are 88 cents per year. Okay, Namecheap has these .onlines, these .pro. We're staying away from .xyz because they got a bad rap here over the last couple of years. But if you mix it up between these if you go to Namecheap, you'll see the 88 cent tab, and there's all kinds of TLDs in there. .pro, .online. I think that .men one was 88 cents. There's .website. There's lots and lots of different vanity TLDs that are only 88 cents. So heck, 10 sites, $10 right there it is. So .club, .top,
or you can just get a .com and develop generate one call from pay-per-call and pay for it.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between 88 cents and $11 really ain't that much when you're selling $20, $30 leads. But
exactly.
For the budget concepts,
one lead's all it takes.
The thing with these that are so great with 88 cents is just like it feels like nothing to buy them. You're just like buy them. You know what I mean? And then deploying them, and it just works.
Yep.
It still works.
Especially if you're first starting out though, and you're just testing, and you might run one or two here and there. I know I have, and so 88 cents is nothing. I mean, it's not even. It's 8 dimes to throw up a site and get going and get to testing with this stuff, and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, sometimes I even register the exact same domain with a different TLD twice. Like, that's a good point, Todd, like for testing, because it does take a little bit to get used to the software. Like, it took me like 4 or 5 builds to really be like, oh yeah, man, I'm going to kill it. But you could just buy these cheap ones to test on. You know what I mean? And then when you feel like you've gotten a result, then go buy the .com, and simply all you have to do is duplicate the result, and now you have 2. Like, you'll dominate the first page.
Yeah, and believe it or not, a lot of people say, well, I'll just test on a subdomain. Well, believe it or not, your tests, your experiments could work out really well too. So if that happens, if that's the case, if your first 1 or 2 builds, because we do have people that get it right out of the gate, and they just start ranking immediately, and so they've got a decent top-level domain that is working for them, although they weren't confident in really knowing what they were doing, but it worked. So those are available for you. If you hate those kind of domains, then by all means spend the $10 and get the .com, .net, .org. But those are available. We are using those. A lot of people are using those, and they are ranking.
Yeah, I even went for like a PBN style domain. Like it's already got the power. It was actually Datametrics Corp. You probably saw it on that list. It was actually an old data thing. So I did like laptop repairs and LCD repairs and all kinds of keywords for data, and it works. It's just an extra push. There's just a lot of stuff you can do with it, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, guys. Well, listen, we've only got about 5 more minutes, and we're gonna hit the 2-hour mark. We already went over more than I thought we were going to, actually. But we're here now, so if you have any last burning question, if you're on the fence and not quite sure, if you have a question that you want to ask us, please do. We'll be on here for the next few more minutes, answer your question. All the information should be on the screen that you need to get the offer, to take advantage of the coupon. Unlimited V2 right now for Project Supremacy, plus you get 1 or 2 of the other bonuses, so you're getting 2 out of 3 bonuses right away.
I guess you could use Yoast.
No.
We're trying to build a better.
Hey, Herper, that reminds me. I remember one site that you built a while back, and we were checking it out, and the indexing wasn't quite there, and you were like, well, hey, let me throw some schema on this. And that schema doesn't come with Yoast. It comes with PSV2. And you just put that default schema in there. I think we went over that default schema earlier in the webinar, but that was applied after the fact, and what did it do? Double or triple that indexation?
Well, it definitely helped. I know that. I can't really measure it because we didn't. There's two things that I did. I built one single link and then I applied schema, and I didn't really track the dates or, I didn't do like the regular testing I should have done to do it. But yeah, they both of those things. The stick rate of that site on the index, I'm pretty sure I can do the math on how many URLs are available to be indexed, and I bet you I'm at 98, 99% of all the URLs that are on that site available to be indexed are actually indexed. So it's like 5,300 URLs on a 200-page site.
Right on.
And they're stuck, like they haven't moved. So,
yeah.
And now they're all starring out too.
Mm-hmm. Guarantee you that the schema inside PSV2, that default schema will do nothing but help.
Oh yeah,
nothing but help.
Schema is still relatively new to Google. Google's still working with it, developing it, supporting it. So it's big.
Oh, and don't forget to get our free AMP plugin. Little plug there. Last plug for another free product for you. It's AMP. If you don't know what AMP is, you need to get on the bandwagon. It's relatively new. It's absolutely supported by Google. Google loves it. We've been developing our AMP plugin for a little over a year now, and it's working amazingly well. We have lots of good rankings for sites that are using it that are coming in on mobile devices. AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. We're getting 400 or 500 downloads per day. We just came out with a new version, about a month and a half ago. Wait, no, that new UX was just released like maybe a month ago. Anyway, great stuff. AMP, Accelerated Mobile Pages. Accelerated Mobile Pages. Go to, look for AMP Supremacy. You can Google AMP Supremacy or go to the WordPress.org plugin repository and look for AMP Supremacy. Pretty much anytime you see the word supremacy tagged onto something, it's ours.
Except for supremacyseo.com. That's not ours. We're the other way around.
Yeah, we're SEO Supremacy. SERPtech's the only product we have that doesn't say that in there, but that and yeah, so I guess that's all I got. Anybody else? We got 2 more minutes left here.
No.
Anybody else have anything else to say?
I need a cigarette.
it's beer and cigarettes.
We got quite a few people still on. I just want to tell everybody that's here, thank you for sticking to the end. It means a lot, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yeah, same here, man. Thank you once again, Keith, for allowing us to invade your personal tribe here. We really appreciate that. I know that we keep our tribe close to our vest as well, and I want to really thank you for allowing us to come in here, and hopefully you guys learned something. Even if you didn't buy anything, that's quite all right too. Doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of it, some inspiration, some knowledge, anything. I really hope that we helped you out in some way. Thank you, Herc, for another amazing presentation. Man, you know your shit really well. We really, really do appreciate you doing what you do. Jason and Steven, once again, as always, you guys are brilliant masterminds. I can't thank you guys enough for developing what you have developed for us, for listening to us, taking in our suggestions, making changes, talking every day with us, and improving these 2 products as much as we possibly can. So thank you once and all to everyone that has jumped in on this. Make sure you get into our Facebook group. Say hello. Don't be shy. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Bring it on. Everyone's there to help, and we wish you massive, massive success. All right, guys. My name is Todd Spears, and we'll check you guys on the training webinars.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night.